Hi everyone, it's Holly Marie King, and we are back with Lake of Voices. I'm just gonna jump in because I'm excited to see what is going to happen. Oh yeah, the boy! Oh my goodness, isn't that a boy? I think he lets out a weak little laugh, coupled with an eyebrow raise, voice trembling. No one really knows what to make of this. I'm gonna do one thing really quick. The music volume needs to go down a little bit more for me. There we go. The man gives a small wave and begins down the path we came. Bamel huffs, tossing his hands into the air.
That's not even the right way.
It is for me.
Oh? You must have come quite a ways if it was the other shore you started on.
This is going to become problematic for reading purposes. The man's smile grows.
Good. That's not so bad.
There is no response to this remark, unsure of what could be said.
I still think he should come with us. A person needs a light, and the guide himself said he won't be able to manage on his own. Sticking with us is his best option.
Well, maybe he doesn't want to go with us, Bamel. I look over the man's body, noting the scrawniness of his limbs. Scrawny, but not necessarily lacking in muscle. The bravado he was showing as he tried to leave us has faded yet again, and now he's standing quietly, looking at us as if watching a play. Interest, but no true connection to the events.
It's easy for you to say such things, but whose light are you offering? It's not mine, and you are putting her in even more danger with your own presence already.
Bamel's hands turn into fists. He looks away, but doesn't say anything. For a moment, no one does. I feel a cold sweat on my brows. What I feared comes to pass. He's stopping us from protecting another. Why must he get involved now? Why can't he not leave us to make our own decisions?
Don't worry about me. I'll be on my way now.
The man's voice is full of something I cannot place, and he starts to shuffle back down the way we came, arms still clenched around himself. I know the guide wants to act as though there is no option. However, I could stay back with him. It'll put Bamel and myself at significantly more risk, but at least this man will stand a chance. I'm just gonna stop him. I straighten my arm out like a rod, blocking his progress past me. He stops perplexed.
I am not afraid to stay behind, as long as Bemele can remain up front with you in your light.
The guy doesn't say anything, doesn't even blink. Bamel smiles sadly.
One can always count on you, Kika.
Yes, because I'm awesome. The man, meanwhile, stands with his mouth agape, truly and genuinely shocked.
Well, what will it be?
That is fine by me. I can stay on the fringes of your light. That way you won't have to worry about a repeat of what happened earlier.
The guide doesn't acknowledge him. He stares at the stranger. The man shakes under the attention.
Really? I could just go on my own. It's
I already
fine.
lost one person. I don't want to lose someone else. I step closer to him, lending the support he seems to desperately
You do not need to go this alone. I will protect you.
Are you sure about that, Kika? The man stares at me. I return his gaze, willing him to see my certainty. There need be no more blood spilled tonight. Slowly, the fear melts off of his face, replaced with something like resignation. Then he drops his gaze to the floor.
Okay.
All right.
I grasp his shoulder and turn to the rest of the
You should
group.
get a head start, correct? You'll have to put some distance between us.
The guide seems to agree as he starts to walk away without another word. Bamel smiles first at the stranger and then at me.
Take care back here, all right? We'll all be together again when we reach the halfway island. It won't be too much longer now. We'll have a nice little camp out, and you can properly introduce yourself to us. Maybe even tell a real joke or two.
The man emits a nervous little laugh and ducks his head. The prospect must not be enticing to him. With the stranger having pulled himself out of the conversation, Bamel looks seriously at me.
I'm sorry to put you in even more.
Stop.
Yes, stop. Bamel shakes his head, still
I don't
smiling.
begrudge you at all. In fact, I'm glad you did. All I want is for you to remember that goal. Each of us, together, on the island, and then on the other shore, safe. This isn't about what our job is, or where other people need us to be.
He's so crazy. I nod in response. Bamel opens his mouth and closes it. He swallows
You
hard.
two.
I'm surprised to hear his voice wavering slightly. He swallows again, then
You
continues.
two should look out for each other.
Well, bye, Pamel. He takes a few steps back, as if to go, but his eyes don't leave mine. He hesitates for a moment, then he crosses back to me and puts a hand on my shoulder. He smiles at me, a smile full of pride and nervousness and fear. I smile back, doing my best to communicate my gratitude and my resolve. I can't tell whether he understands. He softly glides his hand down the width of my arm before moving away for good. He likes us. Oh, the lights. The guide's figure disappears with only his lantern to lead the way. I think that's supposed to be him. Pamel is finally forced to leave us behind and catch up with him. I watch him disappear into the fog, an odd feeling in the pit of my stomach. I cannot recall the last time I had difficulty seeing someone.
You should go after them.
I almost forgot the man was there, standing right next to me. Now he looks at me with desperate eyes.
You don't need to do this.
I already told you I was going to.
What?
I'd rather know you returned to them safe, and that you all had a chance to make it back together, the way they acted. Having to go on without you, no one would feel that way for me. I'm not worth it.
Everyone's worth
That's
it.
not.
Okay? I stop, unable to say the last word. Can I claim that he's wrong? This is the one thing he has seemed sure of, and I do not know him. Empty platitudes may be worse than nothing at all. He smirks at my mumbling reply. I'm caught off guard by the change. With only that, it seems he's in his element.
It's true.
He continues to grin, more so to himself than
You
me.
lot certainly made a scene, huh? That's nice. Being loved and all.
Oh, poor guy. He clarifies after I must have given an undesired reaction to the statement. I am so disconnected with myself. I am unsure if surprise appeared on my face or if it was a lack of emotion that put him off.
I don't know exactly what kind of love it is you share, but there has to be a bond in that group of yours. I mean, especially with the big one.
The big one.
You wouldn't look at anyone like that.
I guess we do love each other. He laughs and then speaks
It
quietly.
doesn't matter. I can still try for the other shore. Go.
I will say, my certainty shocks him. I can tell immediately he has returned to his meeker self. The man starts to speak again, but
We
I
should
interrupt.
start walking. That should be enough of a head start for them.
He hesitates a moment, but ultimately begins walking at my side. I'm relieved. I can never be quite sure what will come from this one. We move in silence. The man doesn't seem to want to speak anymore, but he keeps glancing at me as if expecting something. Somehow his odd behavior is comforting rather than disconcerting. Perhaps it's because he's more nervous about all this than I am. It's putting me at ease, making me feel more capable. I shouldn't allow myself to get comfortable. However, we're in a dangerous position than ever. The whispering from the lake, so faint after Pamel's close call, now surges forth. It grows nigh unbearable, the creatures teeming below the surface. I dare not speculate on what has them so excited. Probably your friend in the water.
Have you a name?
The man chuckles dryly.
I don't really know what I am to take from that.
Is his name really Barely? This time his laugh is more of a bark, quickly out and swallowed back up. Then he frowns.
Only 2 letters. So barely.
Oh, God.
I see.
I would have laughed
What
if
are
his
you
name was actually
doing
Barely.
out here without the guide?
Perhaps the question isn't appropriate to ask. After all, only the darkest of circumstances spurs someone to cross Sinlos. But this situation is very strange. I might even go so far as to say it's suspicious. He wants to kill himself. What is suspicious about that? I know that's not fair, but I can't help it. Years spent anticipating danger have made me worried.
That's a good question. I'm not sure I know myself.
You came here to kill yourself.
What does that mean? Is that some sort of joke too? Or do you genuinely not remember how you arrived where you are?
No, it wasn't a joke. Or, well, there is a point to it all.
Then his voice, already by nature light and airy, drops to a whisper.
I don't know why I even tried. You'd think that I'd be able to call a spade already, right?
He looks up, noticing my gaze still leveled at him. Then he shrugs.
I'd rather not talk about it.
As what has become the norm, I don't fully understand what he means, but I can at least guess that he's not very happy with himself at present, and like it or not, he won't be sharing his real reasons with me. What gave you away? The fact that he was willing to walk in the dark alone to die?
What about you? What brings you out on this little adventure?
People. On the other side. People who need my help.
You have someone waiting on you? Then why are you risking yourself on me instead of worrying about what's going to happen to
Because
them?
it's my duty to protect people. I feel my brows furrow from my speck of alarm. Is that really what he took from this? I survey his face with a flick of my eyes, but there is no mischievous gleam to his look now. He's serious. We hold eye contact for a moment until he yet again stares down at the ground.
Sorry. I didn't mean to be disrespectful. It just fell out somehow. I wasn't thinking.
You're important as well. His stare shoots back up at me, eyes wide. I mean, why else?
Of course I'm going to be there for those counting on me. But you aren't nothing. I won't simply turn my back
Exactly.
on you.
You're still a person. I gotta help people. He smiles sadly, the kind of smile only someone who has experienced great hardship has. A smile I'm all too
I
familiar
probably
with.
have to disagree. Still, that's nice of you to say.
We may not know each other well, but you wanted us to go on without you for our own safety. You even tried to have a sense of humor about it. That counts for something.
My statement is far from grand, yet he becomes distinctly bashful all of a sudden. Twitching his legs with each step, he hangs his head and mumbles his next phrase. Sadly, he seems unaccustomed to receiving praise.
That's true. Thank you for staying back with me. It's kind of nice.
No need to thank me.
Oh, right. I can't even show gratitude correctly. Of course.
I like him. I go to give him a look, but he's smiling. He looks less pitiful than usual. He almost seems content. While crossing Sinlas? How? Why?
It is not funny to make a joke out of thinking that way about yourself.
Yeah, but he's just happy because someone's finally acknowledging him as a human being. You know, maybe? Did you think about that, Kika?
If you don't want people to say things like that, then you shouldn't reject their thanks. Either I did right by thanking you, or I did wrong.
Fine. You're welcome.
We don't know how to take praise either, apparently. This time, he lets out a real laugh, though a short
I'm
one.
glad.
He stretches his arms out in front of him and elongates his strides so he's walking a bit ahead of me. It sits wrong with me. He's relaxed and completely unguarded. He's even fine with distancing himself from the light and all the odd comments he has said so far. Then a thought strikes me. Maybe the reason he's so calm is that he doesn't care what happens to him. My heart plummets into my gut. He was there to kill himself. Why would you think he'd care about what happens to him? For a time, there is relative peace in the silence between us. Then Lou sighs
I
heavily.
never could have seen myself in a situation like this. It seems things really aren't over until they're over.
Did you think it was over?
Duh, where is he without a light? He doesn't answer immediately. When he does, the reply is accompanied by him grasping himself, like he might fall apart if he lets go.
Yeah.
He said, I did. Sorry, I skipped it. That would have been the normal outcome for his situation. Alone, lightless. I shouldn't have asked. I must have let a frown slip through because Lou smiles a non-smile. He stretches his hand behind his neck and gives a little chuckle.
Something really is wrong with me. Somehow, I feel lighter.
At least we can still see the light. Alright, well, maybe this is good. If he's feeling better than he was, then perhaps his view of himself
I
will
wonder
improve.
who'll still be left standing when this is truly all over.
Is this just what we're doing the whole time, is crossing this bridge? I thought more exciting things was going to happen. What?
Everyone will be.
I know that isn't the truth, but I cannot bring myself to say anything else. This is the group we have now, and I will not let him believe it is a lost cause.
You know that's not possible, don't you? Someone will go. You should focus on making sure it's someone else.
You don't seem to be concerned with self-preservation.
That came out more hostile than I had expected. He doesn't mind.
True. But it's not the same for me.
I still don't know how I'm supposed to interact with a person like him. Making conversation is already not a strength I possess. Regardless, Lou echoing that sentiment was not something I had expected. The whispers from the lake, which had already grown, now speak faster and clearer. The individual words are almost audible. I'd likely be able to make them out if I knew the Nyx language. For a split second, I wish I did. The light in the distance still drifts along in the same manner as it did when we first started walking, which I take to mean the path hasn't turned so far. Hopefully that means we're still on the right path. But the light, it got brighter? It's strong enough that I have to glance away for a second, and the next time I look, the light has grown. The bridge is on fire! I grab Lou's arm without thinking. He's standing there stiff, staring at the glow, eyes
We're going to
dull.
run.
To hell with the guide's order. If we don't go now, we will never go anywhere again. Lou doesn't respond. I give his arm a small tug, and he appears to come to himself when he nods at me. I make the decision then that I won't let go of his arm. I don't know what'll happen to him if I do. We take off, the heat growing with each step. The darkness or dankness of the bridge means the fire is spreading slowly, but it makes me question how it began in the first place. There is no end to how wrong this place is. It takes 20 paces before the air around us ripples, then starts folding into itself. Thick smoke pours over us, stinging like scorpions at my eyes. I cover my mouth with my free arm to keep breathing, and soon we're at the fire itself. The bridge lurches beneath us as if the beams supporting it are starting to give way to the thousands of flying sparks. Lou stumbles and pulls against me for support, but we keep our ground. I start pulling him through the blaze. We don't have time to gather our bearings. Who knows how long we have until the bridge collapses or is devoured by flames. We continue weaving across the bridges, shielding ourselves from the heat. I can see a faint figure in the distance through the smoke, and as we draw closer, I realize it's Bamel coming our way. I press on to meet him, towing Lou alongside me. Bamel's absolutely beaming when he notices us, and I can't help but match the look of relief on his face as I approach him.
What happened?
I take a moment to study my breathing after getting the most pressing question on my mind
A group
out.
of prowlers were in our path. His solution to that was throwing an open flame at the damned monsters. He knew he'd be setting this entire place ablaze. It didn't matter.
Ooh, so mad.
Did the
Bamel.
guide leave you behind? Is he gone?
I begin tersely at first, but as I speak, I can't help the worry leaking into my
The
voice.
guide is not a man you need to worry about out here. I chose to stay back. There was plenty of light to go around thanks to him.
I balk at him.
That is not a plan, Bemele. You need
Bemele.
a lantern to make it.
That's right.
What if we didn't find each other? Do you realize how easily you could have gotten yourself killed?
Ooh, Kika. Harsh. The statement comes out shrilly as I clench my fist in frustration. Bamele mirrors my anger as he barks back
I've
at
seen
me.
what happens to those left to catch up, Kika. They don't. I wasn't going to keep running this time and leave you behind.
Swallowing my retort, I close my mouth and look at him solemnly. After a moment, I sigh. This isn't the time for a discussion, and after what Margaret went through, I can't blame him for the conclusion he came to. Sorry, I clicked too fast. Suddenly, the bridges began to quake once more
We
beneath their
need to
feet.
leave. Which way did the guide go?
I don't know for sure, though he went off in that direction. The fog overtook him, but I didn't see him turn.
That will work. Lou?
I look around for him, realizing he's not with me any longer. At some point, I let go of his arm. He's standing to the side, gaze glazed, transfixed on the darkness. I step forward and yank him back to
What
my
are you
side.
doing?
Oof. He flinches at the unexpected contact and looks attentively at me, but he doesn't offer an
I'm
explanation. That is all he ever says. I let go
Both
of
of
him.
you stay close. We are not going to separate again.
We keep down the path, the flames still gradually gnawing on the planks behind us. The guide doesn't turn up, nor do any signs of him, but we push on. We will not stop moving. Then we do. The bridge comes to a dead end of rotted out boards collapsed into the lake. For a moment, our breathing stops at once. If this was the way that led to the island, then I flip back to face the others, my expression unaffected. I'm not going to allow panic to sap this group of
Let's
judgment.
look for another branch.
I resolutely begin retracing our path. The others follow without protest. Our aggression is silent, except for our footfalls and the snapping of soggy wood attempting to burn. We frequently have to stop over smoldering sections trying to come alight. At one point, we even have to walk one at a time, sideways, to avoid a wildly flickering small fire billowing out black smoke. Just as my spirit is beginning to dim, we come across different directions to take. Among all the forks, there are only two that aren't collapsed or too consumed by fire to risk
I'm
following.
going to have to pick one.
I'm gonna go left. Bamel sounds uncharacteristically doubtful of himself. Lou's gaze is flickering down either path. There's a palpable sense of anxiety coming from him.
I don't know. I don't know which way.
You sound so sad,
It's all
Lou.
right.
Yeah, it's alright, Lou. We'll figure it out. But it's not alright. We have to have something to go off of. Anything at all. A cold sweat trickles its way down my back. Before anyone tries to randomly choose, a noise catches my attention. I hastily address the
Did you
two.
hear that?
A whistle.
It came from the right.
Lou and I trade looks. This could be the signal we need, but what if it
Do
isn't?
those monsters know how to whistle?
I don't know. It seems unlikely. The air isn't pleasant to them. They're underwater creatures.
We should go right, I think, to where the sound came from.
I think you're right. I'm a little surprised Lou is offering his own opinion. It is good to hear, however. I take a deep breath.
I agree. There's more of a chance the whistle was a sign for good over ill.
Of course, decided, we move as one down the right path, no longer hesitating. As we follow the bridge down, there is no sign of the end. There is no need to debate between directions again. We start to outpace the fire, one danger thankfully fading away, but the night continues to lighten regardless. I glance at the sky and realize that's what's happening. The sun is rising. The bridges will sink into the water as the darkness disappears and take us with them. We'll be lost. It suddenly seems pointless. We don't even know whether we've gone the right way, and we still haven't caught up to the guide. We can't outswim the Nixie, and we can't outrun the dawn. We're going to run out of time. Yet we keep moving forward. And finally, our perseverance, is rewarded. The silhouette of an island rises in the distance. The island grows rapidly larger, and soon the sense of earth and trees reach us. In spite of all the horrors of this night, a dock emerges from the fog before us, welcoming us to safety. We reach the shore. I don't believe it until I've stepped off the wood and my boot sinks into the sand. I walk further inland like a corpse, my sole instinct to flee from the waterline. My hazy eyes single in on something ahead. The guide stands on an outcropping in the distance, watching like a sentinel. He doesn't even come to greet us. I stare at him for a moment, not even able to feel alarmed at my own lack of feelings about the situation. He uses the staff to gesture to the forest behind him before disappearing between the trees. I can only assume he must be asking me to follow. Alright, I'm gonna end this here. We made it to the island. So, yay. And we took Lou with us. I like Lou. I like him better than Margaret. Margaret was mean. I'm still sad she died, though. There was an accident. But yeah, if you like this video, please leave a like. If you know someone who would like this video, please share it. If you want more of this content, I do upload a visual novel every Monday. It might not be this one, but it will be a visual novel. It will be back. It's one of the 10 that I'm working on at once. Yes, I know I do 10 visual novels at once, but you know, variety. But yeah, anyway, hopefully I will see you guys next time. Bye.